Okay, so we just talked about Priam was starting in lines 377. 377. Priam was starting to get a little bit sassy here. Oh, no, here. A little bit sassy, and Achilles, the great runner, frowned and eyed him under his brows. So my kids who are in the room said line 381, 383, and 384 that Achilles was giving Priam the stink eye, the side eye, and he said to Priam, "Do not vex me, sir. Don't make me mad, old man. I have intended in my good time to yield up or give Hector's body to you. She who bore me, my goddess mother, the daughter of the Ancient of the Sea, has come with word to me from Zeus. I know, in your case too, though you say nothing, Priam, that some god had to guide you to these ships here. And if you guys recall, that is true. Priam had help from the god Hermes. Remember, sir? I try not to say your names. Remember that Hermes put the sentries or the guards to sleep, the men guarding the Greek camps. So you had help too. No strong man in his best days could make entry into this camp. How could he pass the guard or force our gateway? Well, because Hermes put the guards to sleep. But does Priam know that Hermes put the guards to sleep? Does Priam know he had help? He does not. That should be what? That is definitely supernatural. Yes. God intervention, absolutely. Good call. Therefore, let me be. Leave me alone, old man. Sting my sore heart again, and even here under my own roof, suppliant or someone who is asking for help though you are, I may not spare you, sir, but instead I'll trample on the express command of Zeus. I may go rogue and not listen to the gods, because I'm Achilles, and I have a little bit of a temper. When he heard this, the old man feared Achilles and obeyed with silence. Now, like a lion at one bound, Achilles left the room. Close at his back, the officers Automedon and Alcimus went out, comrades in arms, whom he esteemed the most after dead Patroclus. They unharnessed mules and horses, led the old king's crier to a low bench and sat him down. Then from the polished wagon, they took the piled up price of Hector's body. They took the ransom. There you have a side note, kitten, and it's not the one that says meow meow. One kitten, a shirt-like garment, a tunic, and 2 capes. They left those aside as dress and shrouding for the homeward journey. So those are the clothes that are going to be put on the dead Achilles. Then calling to the women slaves, Achilles ordered the body of Hector bathed and rubbed with oil, but lifted too and placed apart where Priam could not see his son. Because if Priam saw Hector, Priam might in his great pain lose his mind and give way to rage and fury. And then fury might rise up in Achilles, and Achilles might lose his cool and kill the old king, which would be against Zeus's word. That would flout Zeus's word or go against it. So pause here and take care of Kay if you need to. Otherwise, we'll keep on going. So after bathing and anointing Hector, they drew the shirt and beautiful shrouding over him. Then, with his own hands lifting him, Achilles laid him upon a couch, and with his 2 companions helping or aiding, placed him in the wagon. Now a bitter groan burst forth from Achilles, who stood and prayed to his own dear friend. And to Patroclus he said, Patroclus, do not be angry with me if somehow, even in the world of death, you learn of this, that I released Prince Hector to his father. The gifts he gave were not unworthy. Aye, and you shall have your share this time as well. The Prince Achilles turned back to his quarters. He took again the splendid chair that stood against the farther wall, then looked at Priam and made his declaration. And he said, Achilles said to Priam again, as you wished, sir, the body of your son is now set free. He lies in state at the first sight of dawn. I'll see you in activity period, all of you. At the first sight of dawn, you shall take charge of him yourself and see him. It's okay, chairs are okay. Now, let us think of supper. We must eat. We are told that even Niobe in her extremity took thought for bread, though all of her family had perished. Her 6 young girls and 6 tall sons, all dead, she still stopped to eat. Apollo, making his silver longbow whip and sing, shot Niobe's 6 sons down, and Artemis with raining arrows killed the daughters. All this after Niobe had compared herself with Leto, the smooth-cheeked goddess. She has borne 2 children, Niobe said. How many have I borne? I must be better because I had 12. But soon those 2, Artemis and Apollo, had destroyed the 12. Besides, 9 days the dead lay stark. No one could bury them, for Zeus had turned all folk of theirs to stone. The gods made graves for them on the 10th day, and then at last, being weak and spent with weeping, totally exhausted, Niobe thought of food. Among the rocks of Syphilis's lonely mountainside, where nymphs who raced let me check the pronunciation on it. Achelous river, go to rest. She too long turned to stone, somewhere broods on the gall or the boldness that immortal gods gave her to drink, the bitterness, the bile. They gave her a little shot of her own medicine, so to speak. Like her, you and I will think of supper, noble sir. Weep for your son again when you have borne him back to Troy, and there he will be mourned indeed. Now, Priam and Achilles agree to an 11-day truce, and during that time, the Trojans will mourn Hector's body before it is buried. Okay, now you're working on K for homework, and I will see you tomorrow.